Hello and welcome to BBC News with the latest headlines for viewers in the UK and around the world. On the first anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. If you've just joined us, welcome to BBC News. I'm Sean Lay. It's good to have your company. We mark this hour as we have most of the hours in the last 24.
Now on BBC One, the BBC News at 1 o'clock with Ben Brown.
Today at 1, a 21-year-old US airman will appear in court accused of leaking top-secret military documents. Jack Teixeira is said to have posted... Hello, good afternoon. The 21-year-old US airman suspected of leaking top-secret military documents is due to appear in court in Boston today.
Now at 6, the news on BBC One with Rita Chakrabarti.
Today at 6, police arrest the treasurer of the Scottish National Party as part of their probe into its finances. Colin Beattie was arrested at his home in Dalkeith. Good evening. Police in Scotland investigating the finances of the Scottish National Party have made a second arrest.
This is BBC One in the Northwest. Now the BBC News with Clive Myrie and Annabelle Tiffin at 10 o'clock.
Tonight at 10, more strikes are on the way by nurses in England after rejecting the government's latest pay offer. Ministers call the decision by the Royal College of Nursing disappointing, but the union...
Windermere and the Holocaust.
Good evening. Members of the Royal College of Nursing in England have voted to reject the government's latest pay offer and will continue their strike action.
Hello there, I'm Ollie Foster. Here's what's coming up for you on Sports Day this evening. All out by lunch, England's women crumble at Trent Bridge as he fights his way back. Good evening to you. Welcome along. A really summery feel to Sports Day on this Monday. Lots of cricket and tennis. We're going to start with the women's Ashes because England have lost their one-off test to Australia on the final day at Trent Bridge. They had hope this morning with 152 runs required, 5 wickets in hand, but it was all over by lunch. Joe Curry reports from Trent Bridge.
Definitely. Matt Graveling, BBC News.
George Peasgood, all the very best of luck to him. Just a reminder of our top story. England women have lost the one-off test against Australia by 89 runs, bowled out for 178 by lunch. The Ashes series continues on Saturday with the first of 3 T20s, then the one-dayers to follow. England's women have it all to do. From me, Ollie Foster, and the rest of the Sports Day team, goodbye.
About the average, I think, for most of us. Back to you.
Thomas, thank you very much. And that's all from us. Now on BBC One, it's time for the news where you are. Good night.
Thank you very much, Tina. Hello there, and welcome to Tuesday's BBC Channel Islands. I'm Charlie. So first on the programme tonight, a hole in the heart of St Helier. That's what developers say will be left after plans for more than 200 flats and a hotel were turned down for a second time. Yeah, not the best week. Thank you very much, David. And that is your lot for the time being. Don't forget, for the very latest, check out the BBC News website and follow your links to your local page. And then I'll be back a little bit later on this evening at 10:30. Hope you can join me and the team then. Bye-bye.
Sophie Rayworth has the national news in half an hour. But first on BBC One, your local team with the news where you are.
It's 6:30 and you're watching East Midlands Today. Tonight, an arsonist who murdered a family of 3 in a house fire is jailed for 44 years.
The husband and father of the victims addressed their killer, Jamie Barrow.
We'll have the full story later in the programme.
Hello and welcome to Friday's East Midlands Today with me, Sarah Hawley. First tonight, an arsonist who murdered a family of 3 who lived next door to him has been ordered to serve at least 44 years in jail.
Take care, Sophie.
Stav, thank you very much. And that's it from the BBC News at 6. The news, of course, continues here on BBC One. It's time to join our colleagues across the nations and regions for the news where you are. Goodbye.
Sophie, thank you. Welcome to BBC London. Coming up, London's childcare costs are the highest in the country. We look at the impact store is about to shut up shop in North London. Good evening and welcome to the programme. The cost of childcare is soaring in the capital, with an average full-time nursery place in London for a child under 2 now costing nearly £19,000 a year.
10 now on BBC One. Time for all the news where you are. Bye for now.
Hello, I'm Sean Peel. A man has appeared in court charged with murdering a father and son who were shot dead in Cambridgeshire on Wednesday.
And temperatures a little milder by the end of the week.
That's it. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 to 6. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Hello. Amounts of brightness on this first day of...
OK, Helen, thank you for that. That's it. More analysis, of course, on Newsnight with Kirsty Walk getting underway over on BBC Two. But now the news continues here on BBC One as we join our colleagues across the nations and regions for all the news where you are. Have a very good night.
Thanks, Clive. I'm Amy Cole and you're watching Midlands Today. Good evening. A march took place in Wolverhampton today in memory of a teenager who was stabbed to death in a case of mistaken identity. Made a nice change, having a bit of dry weather today. That's it for now. There's more news in BBC Breakfast from 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. But from all of us here, thanks for watching. Good night.
And that's BBC News at 10 on Monday the 30th of January. A special edition of Newsnight tonight on the impact of Brexit, which we were talking about just a few minutes ago, and Victoria getting ready there in the Newsnight studio on BBC Two. Here on BBC One, well, all of our colleagues in the nations and regions standing by with the news where you are. But from all of us here on the 10 team, thanks for watching and good night.
Good evening, welcome to BBC Newsline. Firefighters in Northern Ireland have voted overwhelmingly to go on strike in a dispute over pay. In a ballot of members of the Fire Brigade Union, 2/3 backed the walkout. Here's our reporter, Eve Rosato. That's it. Our next television news is from 6:25 in the morning. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sophie. On Spotlight tonight, the North Devon woman planning to take one of the world's biggest pharmaceutical companies. Linda Jones claims a talcum powder caused her cancer and is joining almost.
I'll bring you the details in a few minutes' time.
A woman from North Devon is amongst 1,900 people who claim their cancer was caused by talcum powder.
Victoria.
I can feel weekend plans changing. Thanks, David, and thank you for joining us this evening. I hope you can join us again tomorrow. From all of us here, good night.
Forecast for now. Jane.
Christopher, thank you. And that is the BBC News at 1 for today. Now we'll join our colleagues for the news wherever you are this afternoon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jane. I'm Steve Saul. Welcome to North West Today. Our breaking news this lunchtime. Guilty. Nurse Lucy Letby is the most prolific baby killer in modern times. As the In the last few minutes, Lucy Letby's been found guilty of the murder of 7 babies and the attempted murder of 6 others at the Countess of Chester Hospital Special Care Baby Unit. Letby carried out the killings between June 2015 and June 2016. OK, Stuart Pollis at Manchester Crown Court, thank you very much. Don't forget you can stay up to date for the very latest on the BBC News website and on BBC Radio Merseyside. That's it from me for now. Join us for a special edition of North West tonight at 6:30 here on BBC One. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good. At 6, it's time now to join our colleagues for the news where you are. Goodbye.
Welcome to BBC Points West on this cold Wednesday evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Our main story tonight, railway workers to the rescue. They abseiled down an embankment to clear a major line in Somerset, who's been chosen as our sporting hero. Good evening, it's nice to be with you. The heavy rain of the last few days is continuing to cause misery, with more downpours expected in the next few hours and days. We're going to need you. Thank you so much for that. I have loved being with you this evening. Thank you so much for your company. I'm back again at 10. But for now, from all of us on the team, thank you for watching and bye-bye.
degrees. Sophie.
Darren, thank you very much. And that's it from us. I'll be back with the news at 10. But the news continues right now here on BBC One as it's time to join our colleagues across the nations and regions for the news where you are. Good night.
Tonight on Reporting Scotland, more help on the way to combat rising energy costs. Businesses and charities will have their bills capped for the winter, but will that be enough? The first ever dad and son to play together in the same match in the Scottish senior game. Hello, I'm Laura Goodwin. Welcome to Wednesday's programme. Much of the focus on energy prices in the last few months has been on what we're paying at home, with the UK government support package announced to combat soaring costs.
So far this year,
It certainly hasn't. Thank you very much. And that is it from the BBC News at 6. You can, of course, keep up to date with all the latest developments on the BBC website. From the 16th, though, it is goodbye. The news continues here on BBC One. It's time to join our colleagues across the nations and regions for the news where you are. Goodbye.
Thanks, Sophie. You're watching South East Today. Our top story tonight: don't junk our household waste centres. Criticism of
they played together in the FA Cup final.
Smith, it's there!
Hello. First tonight, the criticism facing council bosses in Kent over plans to close 4 household waste and recycling centres in a bid to save £1.5 million.
Join our colleagues across the nations and regions for the news where you are. Goodbye.
Thanks, Sophie. Hello, welcome to Wales Today. I'm Rebecca John. The headlines. The biggest walkout in this ambulance dispute so far, with fine of up to £70. One wheelchair user tells us how dangerous it is to find another way around. And it's lights off at this working men's club in Carmarthenshire, which is facing closure because it can't afford to pay soaring energy bills. Noswathar, good evening. Strikes are never far from the headlines, and today saw the biggest day of action among ambulance workers so far in their dispute over pay and working conditions.
Sin sibhartan bí Ian McKinnegin net gojoch genoch le alleluia agus ceol bh Marianna ní Gwaldric a misc ile sin an llíige bh léiriste seach ach an draste sin an neachcin.
Carstils G. Shia, shock of Priv Neachkin and Law. Runer in Islandia Hamza Yousaf, agus Shaun of Inishud Havachuk and Sachairslach Ash Regan SNP and Muina Mach. Fesgit Magav, Shesi Runer in Islandia Hamza Yousaf, agus Ash Regan, if a Ryan a minister is an Savachuk and Sachairslach is an Kennertus in SNP, agus is an Opeth if the minister. Had Dool Elm could be Tunyug Shesus na lie in the Chach. Kujuk a Jew, Vrin Kennert and Cummington, Penny Mordaunt, Munchown free of the Boris Johnson, as Navaki de Rat, the free of the Rishi Sunak, but protocol 18 Tua. Hannicol Voda Hagadish.
Good morning and welcome to BBC One Scotland on Thursday the 12th of October. It's 6 o'clock and of course that means it's time for breakfast.
Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Charlie State and Naga Manchetti.
Our headlines today. Hundreds of thousands of Israeli troops gather on the Gaza border.
But warm in the north. It's cooler, drier, there are a few showers around and very windy in the far north of Scotland. I'll have all the details later in the programme.
Good morning. It's Thursday the 12th of October.
That's it. I'm back just before 7:30.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Sally Nugent and John Kay.
Our headlines for you today. The murder of Stephen Lawrence. The BBC names a 6th
We're
suspect.
losing the humidity for most of us. We'll have rain at times, but equally there will be some sunshine. I'll have all the details throughout the rest of this morning's programme.
Morning all. Monday the 26th of June and a new suspect in the Stephen Lawrence murder has been identified by a BBC investigation and named publicly for the first time as Matthew White. The BBC has also found that the Metropolitan Police seriously mishandled key evidence relating to him.
In Donald Trump's hush money US law that would effectively ban the video app in the country. His trial over an alleged hush money payment to the adult film star Stormy Daniels.
Now on BBC News, the biggest African and international news stories. Focus on Africa.
Live from Nairobi, this is Focus on Africa on BBC News. Our top stories. Out of control. That's the warning from nursing leaders who say the talent drain of staff from Ghana to richer nations will badly damage the homes in Niger, Mali and Burkina Faso because of an acute lack of food. Well, thanks for joining us on Focus on Africa. I'm Wahiga Mwaura. The International Council of Nurses says the recruitment of nurses by high-income countries from developing countries is out of control. Thank you, Modo, and we'll have to leave it there. Modo Diao, the IRC's Regional Vice President for West Africa. Well, that's all from the program. Please share your feedback on social media at Wahiga Mwaura. From me,
This is BBC News. I'm Vishala Sripatma. Our top stories. Celebrating the new year, this is London, leaders to the former Pope Benedict XVI, who's died at the age of 95. Hello and welcome to BBC News. New Year celebrations are taking place across Western Europe and Africa.
I'm Sumi Somaskanda in Washington, and this is BBC World News America. The Israel-Hamas war takes center stage at the United Nations as the U.S. Secretary of State says a humanitarian pause is needed, entire population forced out. Welcome to World News America. I'm Sumi Somaskanda. The United Nations is warning that without any fuel being allowed into the Gaza Strip, they will run out by tomorrow and have to stop their relief efforts. Israel has refused to let any fuel in since they started a blockade following a series of attacks by Hamas back on October 7th. Our international editor, Jeremy Bowen in Jerusalem. Thank you so much, Jeremy. And that's our show. Thank you for watching World News America. Stay with us.
Hello there. Let's take a look at the latest weather forecasts across.
The U.S. announces new sanctions against Russia following the escalated tensions surrounding Ukraine. Hello and welcome to Asia Business Report. I'm Karishma Vaswani.
Could there be a deal on the thorniest issue of Brexit? Hello, this is World Business Report. I'm Ben Thompson, and we will start this hour here in the UK, where the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, is aiming to finalise a deal with Brussels on post-Brexit trade rules.
Happy Friday, everyone. It's the Graphs here for your end-of-week bulletin. Coming up for you today, Press Packers meet under-20s week. Strange. But first up today, millions of people are celebrating the start of the Hindu festival Holi today. It's one of India's biggest religious events. So, Shaniqua has been looking at... Right, that is it from me and the TV team today. But Newsround will be back bright and early tomorrow morning. And if you cannot wait until then head over to the website to get some top sleep tips from Operation Ouch's Dr. Ronks and have a go at the quiz of the week and see how well you do. We'll catch you bright and early tomorrow, guys. Bye.
Hello, I'm Lewis Vaughan-Jones. You're watching The Context on BBC News.
In favour 143. Against 9. Abstentions.
New states. That power belongs only to the Security Council.
Hello, welcome to the programme. Israeli fury as the UN General Assembly votes for full Palestinian membership, effectively recognising a state of Palestine. It's a symbolic vote only, but it could have major ramifications for UN relations with Israel.
7 p.m. in London, this is The World Today with Marianne Mashiri. The Chancellor unveils new plans to boost economic growth around the world. Celebrate the Lunar New Year. Hello and welcome to The World Today on BBC News. The government has given its backing to a third runway at Heathrow Airport in a push to get the economy growing.
Live through the night now on BBC One, let's join Laura Koonsberg and the BBC team for results and analysis from across the country in today's local elections.
Good evening. The polls are closed and our politicians might just be getting nervous, waiting for the verdict of millions of you who've been voting today in this year's council elections. Power is up for grabs and reputations are on the line. Rishi Sunak became Prime Minister in the autumn after the turmoil that brought down Boris Johnson and saw off politicians trust. Join us here and from around the country. So stick with us. It is election night on the BBC, and some of those all-important results have already started to come in. A very warm welcome to you for election 2023.
It's 5 to 10, and with millions of you having cast your votes, the polls are about to close.
The arguments of the campaign are over. The counting is about to start. So, let election night begin.
A very good evening to you. Welcome to our election night studio, your destination for unrivaled coverage over the next 10 hours as we discover whom you've chosen to walk through that famous door in Downing Street.
It's Monday, it's 12:15 and we're live in Westminster.
What we are trying to do is re-emphasise that sex in the law means
This is Politics Live, Election 2024. Welcome to viewers on BBC Two, BBC iPlayer and BBC News. Let's start with this headline you heard also at the top of the programme. BBC announces dates for election TV debates. Yes, the first programme is this Friday evening. 7 parties have been invited. There's a question time debate on the 20th of June with the country's 4 largest parties and a debate between the Prime Minister head-to-head and the Labour leader Keir Starmer on the 26th of June. Well, before we go, the BBC is launching something new. We're calling it Your Voice, Your Vote. It's an invitation to you to take part in our coverage. Tell us what's on your mind. Send us your questions by emailing us at bbcyourvoice@bbc.co.uk, and you can also contact us via our website and the BBC News app. That's all we have time for today. Thank you to all of my guests for joining me on this Monday. We'll have more Politics Live, of course, with me tomorrow at 12:15. Bye-bye.
The police investigation into SNP finances widens. Another arrest on the day the new First Minister hoped to set out his stall to Scotland. Is the SNP now in freefall? And if it is, what or who can stop it? Can Humza Yousaf, the SNP continuity candidate, distance himself from the previous Sturgeon regime when he was such a part of it? And if he can't, what's next for the party? We'll speak to one of the fathers of the British tech industry. Good evening. It was the day Humza Yousaf made his first key speech as First Minister of Scotland. A chance for him to draw a line under the damaging headlines around the SNP's finances and show the people of Scotland what his policy priorities are. That's all from us tonight. Kirsty's here tomorrow. Have a good evening.
Live from London, this is BBC News. The death toll in Hawaii's devastating wildfires rises to 96, understood to be almost $100 million. Hello, I'm Lucy Hawkins. Welcome to BBC News Now. 3 hours of fast-moving news, interviews and reaction. We start in Hawaii, where the number of people confirmed dead following devastating wildfires has now risen to 96.
Live from London, this is BBC News. Fierce fighting in Ukraine's Kharkiv region as Russia launches a surprise attack at the start of an informal tour of Nigeria. Hello and welcome to Verified Live. We start this hour in Ukraine because President Zelensky says a fierce battle is underway in the Kharkiv region after Russia launched a surprise attack. Dr. Hellier, we have to leave it there, but thank you so much for being live here on the programme. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for the invitation.
Hello, I'm Asdeh Mashuri. We're going to go live to the Old Bailey for the sentencing of Lee Bayer. He has admitted killing an elderly mobility scooter rider in what has been called a motiveless knife attack. Just 5...
Please stay with us with BBC News. We'll keep covering this story.
Hello, this is BBC News and I'm Laquesta Burak. In a moment, we'll be taking you through tomorrow's front pages with my guests, Tony Grew and Caroline Frost. First off, the headlines this evening. And around 100 people have been evacuated from a steelworks, the female body ever produced, to help provide a better understanding of their anatomy. Hello and welcome to our look ahead to what the papers will be bringing us tomorrow. With me, the parliamentary journalist Tony Grew and also the journalist and broadcaster Caroline Frost. Evening to you both. Quick look through the front pages. First off, we'll start with the Eye, which says the Conservatives will step up their local election campaigning this week as rebels warn the Prime Minister could face a leadership challenge if the party loses councils on Thursday. And we're staying with politics with the front page of the Telegraph, which says that Boris Johnson wants to give more than 2 million households in England who rent properties from housing associations the power to purchase their homes at a discounted price. Millions of us are struggling to get dental appointments, according to The Guardian, as the numbers of dentists working in the NHS in England drops to its lowest level for a decade. The FT is reporting that banks in China are looking at ways to shield assets from US sanctions. Regulators are worried Beijing could face similar sanctions to those imposed on Russia if China was involved in any military conflict or other crises. And if you're taking your dog to the beach this bank holiday, i.e. tomorrow, the Daily Star says that vets are encouraging pet owners to put sun cream on their pooches who can suffer from sunburn too, particularly their noses actually. I know that. OK, let us begin our chat. A very good evening to you, Tony and Caroline. We're going to start off. Caroline, you're going to kick us off with the front page of the Eye, please. And the Tories step up the election fight as rebels plot the PM's downfall.